big Oscar show, the big night, is less than a week away, and I can't imagine how nerve-wracking and exciting it must be for all the nominees. But my next guest can. She's already won an Oscar, and she's nominated again this year for Best Supporting Actress. Here she is as sex surrogate Cheryl Cohen-Green in The Sessions.
Explain to me so that I really understand exactly what the iron lung is for.
It keeps me breathing. I can spend a few hours outside of it with my portable respirator, depending on how I feel, but I work and sleep in the iron lung.
And how do you feel right now?
Out of my league.
How much you breathing?
Fine. In fact, better than usual.
That's great. Shall we get undressed?
Please welcome Helen Hunt. To have you, and congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you. Your foxy shoes.
Oh, you like these?
Just to get into the cheap seats for a minute.
Yours look much more comfortable. They really do, and much hipper probably. But tell me about your experience doing this movie. Did you love it? Because I absolutely love this film.
I love this film. I have to say, there are incredible movies out there this year, and so often beautiful stories come out of pain, you know, and while that's a little bit true of this movie, really, it's a shining light, I think, about kindness and courage and having humor along the way. And I don't know, I feel like I won the lottery getting to be in this particular movie.
This is about a young man named Mark O'Brien who was diagnosed or got polio as a child, and as a result, as we saw in the clip, is in an iron lung most of the time. And you play Cheryl, his sex surrogate. And before this film, I had never even heard of a sex surrogate.
Neither had I. Neither had I. And that's one of the things when I finished reading this script, I thought, I've read a lot of scripts and heard a lot of stories, and I have never seen this story ever. And I've never seen this woman ever. And so I said yes before I could, you know, give a lot of thought to what the implications were of my saying yes.
You're naked in a lot of this movie.
I'm naked as the day I was born.
And I would rather have my fingernails pulled out one by one.
Are those our only choices as women?
But
torture or naked?
How was that for you? Because you are very relaxed about it. You're, as we saw in the clip, shall we get undressed?
Acting.
Well, I mean, were you complete? I mean, that was so brave.
Or something.
But by the way, she looks good.
Well.
You do. Not to sound weird, but you have a beautiful body.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yoga and stress are that's what I hold on to, those two things.
And Helen, I know you won an Oscar for Best Actress back in 1997 in another film that I loved as well, As Good as It Gets. We'll talk about that, but let's take a look at a clip real quickly.
And the Oscar goes to Helen Hunt, As Good as It Gets.
Helen Hunt has acted in more than 18 films, including Twister, Bob Roberts, and Peggy Sue Got Married. This is her first Academy Award.
Nice.
I've not seen that probably since that day.
Really? You look beautiful, by the way. I love that dress, and to get a little kiss on the hand by Jack Nicholson.
That's always nice.
Shabby,
not
right?
Too shabby.
What do you remember from that night?
I remember seeing him go, like it was like a Laker had made a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that felt good.
But were you surprised? And you know, so few people can experience that. And I'm just curious what it was like for you.
It's like I was high. I don't mean I wish I was not. To be clear, but I maybe should have been, because I feel like I missed it all. It was such a swirl. I don't know.
Well, now, where do you keep your Oscar, Helen? I know that's a cheesy question, but I'm curious. You don't strike me as the kind of person who would have it in, you know.
Yeah. Tom Hanks used to say mounted on the hood of his car. I didn't do that. I've done the opposite. Mine is like tucked back in some corner that reflects some lack of self-esteem that I'm really working on. It needs to be inched out. And my daughter, who doesn't know what any of this is, was like, what is that one? And what are those with the wings on them?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about, what are you wearing to the Oscars? Have you figured that out?
No, and I wish I were kidding.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm sweating a little. Stop already. Something. I'm going to be wearing something.
Really?
Yeah.
You have
I've got people for that.
You've got people for that.
I do,
working
and I'm
on that?
trusting them.
Meanwhile, after the Oscars, what are you working on? What's kind of next for you?
I'm doing a few things. I'm actually working with this organization, I'm sure you know, Global Green.
Oh, yeah.
And they're now doing these amazing things. They're doing a thing called Solar for Sandy to help with the rebuilding and putting solar right in the houses. And I'm going to be one of the ambassadors for a school makeover project where any school in America, public or private, can apply to the Global Green at globalgreen.org and tell them their green plan, and they will pick schools that they will give $75,000 to green their school.
That's fantastic.
It's amazing.
You should let us know what school it is, and maybe we could visit the school and talk to the kids.
That would be great.
Bring more attention. And what about any of your projects?
My other work?
Have you been? I heard that you were writing a script.
Yes,
or you just finished one.
A few years ago, I wrote and directed a movie called Then She Found Me with Colin Firth and Bette Midler and Matthew Broderick.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And I've written another one, and I'm now begging for pennies to get it financed like any independent filmmaker does.
What is this one about?
It's a sort of empty nest, unhinged story.
Oh, did you call my house?
I haven't. I will now. Is that you?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Not yet, but soon.
You're getting ready to unhinge. So it's a comedy with, you know, kind of deeper undertones about letting go, which I hate. Everything about letting go.
Or just getting old.
Or one of those two. And it's a comedy in the middle of all that.
Well, it sounds great. I'm so happy to see you. And first of all, you're not only talented, but you're so eloquent. And it's really nice to be able to talk to someone who's so smart.
Thank you so
Helen,
much.
good luck and have fun at the Oscars.
Thank you. I will.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend The Sessions. It is now available on DVD, and everyone in the audience is going home with a copy of the movie. Which is nice. So you will see it. And if you'd like a copy, you can go to our website, katiecouric.com, to find out how you too could have one. Up next, the only thing more nerve-wracking than being nominated is hosting the show. You'll hear from Billy Crystal and Whoopi Goldberg when we come back.
Coming up, meet the songstress behind the Oscar-worthy Anne Hathaway parody that's gone viral.
Let them give me this new haircut.
That's later.
Oil changes at Meineke are always a great deal.
Then you're gonna love this. Right now, they're only $14.95.
A great deal just got a whole lot better.
Hurry, $14.95 won't last.
My Bliss, new Blistex Moisture Melt with dissolving soft beads of shea butter and aloe. Moisture melt in, dryness out. Discover bliss.